Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for the Male Robot Spirits. And we have the Strike Freedom Gundam from the Gundam Seed Destiny TV series. Now, I think for the longest time, Strike Freedom is kind of like the flagship. There is a lot of demand for Strike Freedom. Whether it's a mold kit or figures, it's kind of like a go-to. It's just really popular, kind of like Gundam Wing for us here in the US. I personally like the Strike Freedom. It's a really nice design. I like the head sculpt there, and kind of like a bit simplistic look, kind of like a classic look on the rest of the body. And he has wings. Not to mention the rune or the funnel systems, which is very overpowered in the Gundam series. But regardless, it's a nice design. I personally like it. TV series, not so much. There's just a lot of rehash scenes and stuff like that. It could have been better. But anyways, that's another topic for another day. We're taking a look at this. So there is a Robot Spirits Strike Freedom, which probably one of the earlier ones released. I personally didn't get one from the horror stories I've heard. It's stemming from like just a horrible joint system. It's floppy. It's just not good. And you want to get the latest release. When I got into the Robot Spirits, you rather just get new ones because they're better engineered, better designed, and they're a lot better looking. So they made this. Now, it is Metal Robot Damashi, meaning it has die-cast parts on it. It's kind of like the new thing. They're trying to incorporate the Mel build craze into a smaller scale. Now, Robot Spirits are not 1/44th scale. They're actually a little smaller than the Mole kit counterpart. So just keep that in mind. It does seem to have a base, which is great. We hardly see that in Robot Spirits. But I think the MRD does have this. I think I remember the XS has one too. And seems like he has a gold joints, which Strike Freedom is popular off. Interesting. Now I've also heard that there's gonna be a P Bandai add-on set here for, I think that's kind of like the Wings of Light or something of that sort, and effect parts. I'm still debating if I should get it. It is probably close to $100 just to get the effect parts. I mean, it does look nice with the wings, but is it worth it? I do have the Mel build already with all the knick-knack, so still debating if I should get one for this one. Let's see. If the figure is great, I'll consider it. If not, because I have mixed feelings with die-cast joints. We'll see. Anyways, I do apologize for the little long intro, but I just want to share my thoughts about this before I open it, because I haven't yet. This is an unboxing as well as a review, an impromptu review. Alright, let's crack it out. Alright, let's start with the base. The base has some gold lettering, really nice. We got the Metal Robot Spirits there, as well as the Strike Freedom, the name on the right side, and some... Well, this is not really specs. There's no spec sheet on this one. Just some kind of... tells what Gundam is. Gundam... What do you call that? Unsubdued Nuclear Drive Assault Module. Yeah. So there we go. That's the base. Can I get some... Let's see if I can get some reflection there. Nope. Alright, so that's the base. Let's take a look at that figure. Alright, so here's the figure, and the great thing about Metal Robot Damashi, they're kind of like the Verka, where they're pre-painted, pre-decaled, and really nice looking compared to your typical Robot Spirits. Some of them do have the decals and stuff, but you get the normal plastic colors. So this one, nicely painted. We can see the grays here, the red up there, the blue in the middle here, it's kind of glossy, as well as the black color on the chest. Got some different shades on the sides here. I got a nice matte gray on the railguns. I kind of forgot what the name of the weapons are. And we have really nice gold frame, especially on the waist there, the knee, on the back side. You see all of that, the elbows, and some parts of the hands here. I think there is, I don't have my nails with me. There we go. You can open this up. Even the thrusters on the cowls, we have quite a bit of gold. Even the V-fin, the eyes, so even the neck. So a lot of nice gold colors. And we have a mixture of yellow. Some joints here, like this connector here, is that not so good gold plastic color, which is kind of like a mustard color. Unfortunately, you cannot have everything in that gold color because it's a joint. Some joints, especially things that you move a lot, you're just gonna peel off that, that color eventually. So it is unfortunate that everything is gold, but you know, there's reasons for it, like especially down here, that joint or the heel, ankle, yeah, that's gonna be moved a lot. All right, so that's pretty much in terms of color. Articulation wise, we have the neck here can move up and down, and I'm doing this kind of like the first time, kind of just seeing what we'll discover. And now we got the shoulder here, can move forward, back, and seems to be a hinge with a ball joint. There we go. It's like cracking a joint, trying to break it off. So we got a nice ball joint there. This is on a hinge right there. Just careful on that V-fin. There is no spare V-fin on this kit or this figure set, so be careful on that. You got some flaps here. Shoulder can go up. You got your bicep swivel, elbow bend. It's double jointed, which is quite nice. Not too bad of an elbow bend right there. Not much hollow parts, so that is great. So really nice. Let's see here. I think this is detachable. Just see if there is any other. Nope. So this whole forearm is a solid piece. Sometimes you can have a swivel point right there on the elbow, but I guess on this one you only get on the bicep. So the detachable shield here, let's put it back. You got your wrist joint. Moving down, this chest part here, there's no up crunch, but it seems like we can move this. That's probably just how it's assembled. A bit of a hip articulation there. You got your front skirt. So now I'm curious how the first Strike Freedom is. Actually, I moved this up for transformation, but you got a back skirt here. You can move this down, and you can move the side skirt onto the side. Here we go. And this is a connector part for the blaster or his rifle, which we'll do a bit later on. Now this railgun can move up. There we go. And if I remember from my mill build, actually you could actually open this up a bit more, but on this, that's it. Still nice. You got the side skirt, bazookas or railguns. Alright, moving on, you have the waist articulation. Got that nice golden waist joint. You can move up, especially if you move the side skirt out of the way. You got some swivel there, double jointed knee. You can bend this quite a bit. Let's move this all the way up. Just trying to be careful here. So knee bend, not much, which is fairly good enough for me. Then you got your ankle, you got your heel, even you got a toe pivot. So for wide stance, which is great. Got your shin guard, it's on a hinge. So that's nice. Overall articulation seems to be great. Just that you gotta be careful on certain things. Make sure they're not rubbing. And yeah, it's a bit of a stiff joint with it. That's one thing I don't like about die-cast joints. It's stiff. It's kind of hard to move around. I like it when it's you got plastic joints and they're painted nicely, or a bit of mixture, and the die-cast parts are placed or strategically placed, like in the center of the body and on the soles. Gonna give you an overall weight around. So that's one of the things I like. Now there is gonna be a connector part on the back for the wings, but we'll look in that in a bit. So yeah, overall it's nice. All right, so next part, while we're at it, why don't we do the shields? Alright, so for the shield, as well as the beam saber hilts here, actually, while we're at it, you can rotate this, which is quite nice. And for the shield here, I thought you have to remove this whole thing. Turns out you just have to remove this red piece here. So to do that, I think you still want to remove this, especially if you just cut your nails. It's kind of hard to pry this off. Maybe you can try, but I think this is the easier way. You kind of push in that red tab in there, and that will give you a little bit more space to pop that off. You grab your connector. Now this is going to be facing up, and probably best to put this back on first. There we go. The reason for that, because it's in a certain angle and trying to push everything on might be a little sketchy. So anyways, just put this peg in, and there we go. It's a translucent plastic, which is nice, and I think they've done this quite a bit, like real grades or in the model kit or other figures where they have this really thin plastic. Quite nice. I like it. Although this one, I don't think they've sometimes they paint like silver on it to kind of give it a better effect. Other than that, let's take off this beam saber hilt. Now you always want to cross draw. You're gonna be reaching across your waist to grab, whoops, to grab your beam saber. You're not gonna be holding it here. Maybe you can, but yeah. Anyways, let's pop this back in. There we go. Not sure what happened there. And I did mention not to do this, but let's see if this is gonna work. Nope. For that reason. Let's not put that back on right now. Alright. So let's go pop off the hand here. You got a pair of closed fists. There is a lot of or a couple sets of hands. We're gonna be using this particular hand, and again, you're gonna get a pair. We pretty much get a pair of everything here, nicely painted with the gold fingers, and we're gonna get two sets of effect parts right here. Same thing with the shield. You're gonna get a pair of that as well. So it is quite nice. Alright, so let me put this on here, attach the tab, or I mean the peg. There we go. But maybe let's put this one first. Alright, so there we go. And we're just gonna slide this in here. There we go. Let's reattach this. Make sure that is secure, and reconnect this. There we go. I think that's good enough for now. I mean, I could put it all the way, but just for a demonstration. And we could also do a dual wielding, and I'm just gonna do a jump cut on that. Alright, here we go. Quite nice. Alright, and now let's move on with the rifles. Alright, so next up are the rifles. We got two of them, one for each hand. And now we have peg connectors here, as we've seen. Now moving parts, we can fold this up. You can actually combine them, and to do that, you gotta make sure you have this one right here. There's a hollow part, and I thought you push this down, you actually turn it around. So we're just gonna do that. Not too fond of that, in the creaking of the peg. And you're just gonna slide this in. There we go. And you got your dual buster rifle or something. It's kind of overkill, but I guess when you put them, I mean, you get more firepower in that way. Or it's kind of like a sniper rifle. Not really sure what the logic of combining it that way is. Why not just put it together, right? I don't know. Sometimes the logic is kind of skewed, especially on Sea Destiny. Alright, and we got another pair of hands. This is for the rifle. Trigger finger. And we're just gonna slide this here. Now, let's see how this is gonna work. So let's try to put this on first. There's always this little tail there at the end, which is a little problematic, trying to put the hands on there. Then maybe angle it a little bit, and let's pop this in on the wrist joint. Like so. There we go. And we adjust that. And yeah, not too bad. Got the rifle there. Next part, why don't we put those rifle on the side skirt? Actually, I want to show this, how ridiculous this is. Yeah. And of course, let's go ahead and put it on two hands, dual wield. Let's close this again. Oh, that peg joint. Alright. Let's see here. Come on. There we go. Alright. And dual wielding two rifles. And while we're at it, it actually gets so ridiculous for Strike Freedom. Basically a beam spammer. You can have as many beam as you want. There we go. Now I'm doing this without the wings because it's gonna be a little difficult, you know, having a backpack on. Alright, so that's that. I guess we can put this on to the side here. Or, you know what, let's put on the wings and do that afterwards. Alright. Alright, so we have the wings here. It has some die-cast joints as well with that metallic gold finish. And the parts here on the fin are painted gold, so a little different. It's not metallic. Got some nice details here, even decals. Was it Eternal 01? And let's see, how does this? So we have some articulation there, and I guess it's symmetrical on all four. I'm pretty sure. There we go. We can open it up here. Does that work on the other side as well? Yes. So you can go higher on any of them. You can put it all the way up. There we go. We're probably gonna do that effect later on. Oops. Yeah, really long wings. Right, let's fold that back in. So we got hinges there, and most likely we can rotate this. There we go. There's another hinge here we can fold back or in. So a lot of nice details. So let's go ahead and realign and get that peg on the back. And I'm just hoping that it's just a smooth transition. Press it in, that's it. There we go. Not too crazy. Sometimes connections are they're a little bit more to it. Alright, so again, we can raise this up. Now I can't remember if the front wing stays in the downward or the back, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Maybe, but Just want to get that out. So, really nice wings. Now, it does look like it's missing. God, I wish you have the wings of light or whatever that's called. So, definitely that'd be cool to have later on. Still debating on it. Okay, so let's lower this down. And let's connect it on the action base. Getting back here. Now, the action base comes with this adapter here, which goes underneath. And right there. Kind of just rest in place. So it's, let's see here. Yeah, it's not gonna fall, but definitely if you hold it by the Strike Freedom, it's gonna let go. Yeah, there's nothing down there. So it is a base. It's just held by gravity down. So it's not solid. Because sometimes when you can grab the kit or the figure, the base goes with it. Alright. So it does have a really nice presence. That's one thing I really like about Strike Freedom. It has a very commanding presence. Kind of like God Gundam. I really wish they make Metal Robot Damacy of God Gundam. That'd be great. Master Gundam, I'm not really a fan of him, but if they make one too, sure. But God Gundam or Shining Gundam, especially when they have that, the gold. That should be interesting. No, actually, come to think of it, they're probably not going to make it because God Gundam, they already made that. They already have a Robot Damacy of that. So we'll see what they're gonna. What other metal robot damacy they're gonna come up next? Maybe the Destiny, since we already have the Strike Freedom. That'd be great. I think is the Justice coming out? Yeah. Well, anyways, moving on with this review. So the base works quite well. Now I still have the beam saber hilts on to the hands here, and actually I think that's a great way to display. Just with the beam saber on both hands. Let's go do that. Put this back on. There we go. Again, you want to be careful what you're holding. Sometimes you don't realize you're actually forcing something on. Vivian, be careful. Alright. I always want to do the leg up pose. There we go. Bend it a little bit. Sideways. We kind of have that dynamic. Yeah, quite nice. I could put on the shield, but let's leave it at that for now. Other than that, you have this extra pair of fans. So if you want to have a bit more dynamic pose, let's go ahead and swap this. Put that on. And if I can put this on, that's pretty much it for the pair of hands. So we got a wide range, closed fist, a pair of open hands, and to hold the beam saber and the beam rifle. So that's pretty much it. Alright, so let's go put on the rifles on the side. Alright, so let's go put on the rifle. So again, we're gonna rotate this on the back side here. We're gonna lower this section down, and I believe we have enough clearance there before it hits this part here. Maybe they'll just be careful as you rotate this. That's not gonna hit the back skirt. And now we're just gonna rotate this back. Here we go. Alright. Now for the rifles, we're just gonna pull this up, and these actually are rotatable, so they seems to be on a peg, and we're just gonna attach them like so. There we go. So, alright, that seems to be secure. Do the same thing on the other side. So in a way, I actually like this particular design where you can stash this away, not on the back, because I've seen that where oh no, this is gonna be a little troublesome. I'm gonna use this to peg that out. Yeah, it's gonna wanna. There we go. Just wanna snag a little bit of it. Only have enough to push that in. Alright, so I think that's gonna hold. Gonna fix the waist there a little bit. Alright. Alright, so the next part is going to be a little fun, and there's always a gimmick for this for a lot of Strike Freedom mobile kits or figures where you're going to put the Dragoons out. Now, this one has it too, where you have, well, 8 connector parts. Their arms, let's just put that there. Then there's going to be an extension on that base to accumulate that 4. It's kind of like Dr. Octopus now. And yeah, that's gonna be fun. Okay, so how do I even remove that? I'm actually kind of curious. I have to look on instructions on how to actually remove those wings. I actually forgot the Dragoons, and I was trying to figure out how to put this on. So, I mean, there is the spot there. You slide it in, then you keep sliding, then. This doesn't seem to be a secure connection. Turns out, as you can see from this side, there are tabs, and you actually have to remove this piece right here. So to do that, we're gonna go ahead and press this, kind of like what we did with Shield. So there seems to be a lot of that on this figure. Just pressing the tab to kind of release it, which actually works. It works quite well. Alright, so we pop that off, then gonna have a little bit of more clearance, and just slide that off. So surprisingly, the paint is holding well, and actually that's not surprising. It should hold. No scrapings yet. And we're just gonna slide this all the way down there. Grab another one, and there we go. So I do apologize. I didn't realize that I didn't have the Dragoons on. I could probably do a backwards one where I have the Dragoons out, but let me go ahead and fill this all up because there's 8 of them, and put it back to Strike Freedom. Alright, so I got it all in. Now there is some lettering here, and you get the Super Dragoon system there. It says Uno, Due, Tre, Quattro, and it's going on a sequence, so 1 to 8. We got Cinque, Sei, Siete, Otto. So I think that's kind of how it is. Now you can put it this way, or you can reattach it and it's going to be on the back. So I'll probably do it this way. That way we can see it from the front. And it's going to be on your preference. Doesn't really say on the box. And maybe if I look up Strike Freedom and really check out where the placement is, we'll see that. Alright, but a little lazy right now to do that. It doesn't really matter. It depends on how you want to display it. Alright, I'm gonna reattach this down here. There we go. It's kind of tilted back, but there we go. Should have done this to begin with, but I'm not gonna put the beam sabers. It's gonna be the same thing. Alright, so there we go. A lot better. We got the blue. I was like, there's something missing here. Then I realized, yeah, I forgot to put the Dragoons on. Alright, so that's that. And where was I? I was installing all of this on this. It's kind of like a spider now. So I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall that and remove the Dragoons again. Install this black pieces here and put it all together with the Dragoons kind of like launching forward. So let me do that. Alright, here we go. Now I thought that getting to this point or this action pose is gonna be difficult. It's not. You're just doing connecting the Dragoons to the connector part and you're doing it 8 times. That's it. And not to mention when you get it out of the box, it's as if they're telling you, go ahead and pose in Dragoon mode. It's on the back side here, the thrusters or the backpack there, you're actually removing that outer section to connect the stand. Now for the stand, articulation wise, there's a ball joint here which allows you to, let me do this, you can move this around. There is it's pegged in and there's a ball joint, so you can rotate this around as well. So it's really nice. And there's none of the other extra joints here, which could be very problematic if you have so many, especially when we try to move it around. Yeah, so this setup works quite well, and I'm quite happy they did it this way. Now, next question is, would I still want the effect parts? You know, the Wings of Light. I keep forgetting what the version is for Strike Freedom. Now, if they make Metal Robot Spirits Destiny, and more than likely they're gonna have the Wings of Light and P Bandai as well. Yeah, it does have a merit to have both of them in that mode. But if you just have Strike Freedom, or Strike Freedom is your favorite Gundam on the series, and you just want to display it, I think this is good enough. And quite honestly, it's you're kind of in that point. You want to go away and beyond and collect everything for Strike Freedom, or just be content on this one. So it's really up to you. Now, another question is, this is already 150. I think most Metal Robot Spirits, we can say it's about $150. That P Bandai is gonna be probably another 100. So you already spent 250. Now that 250 could buy another metal build. Now whether if it's, you know, it's a red frame, or maybe another newly released one where you can get it at MSRP, which most metal builds are in that price range, around 250. Maybe somewhere, yeah, it's around 250 to 300. That's the metal build price range. Yeah, I think you should go for a metal build as opposed to collecting a Metal Robot Spirits with effect parts. Then again, if you want to collect everything like a full, I think they call it a full package, which I did for the Destiny, that is close to 400 to 500, around there. Yeah, which is quite hefty. But then again, if you're already paying close to 250 to 300, why not put another 100 more to get metal build? And you get a bigger figure with a lot more details and stuff. So end of the day is depending on your budget and depending on your space, or if you're just strictly collecting robot spirits and this is the theme for you, go for it. I think it's a really great figure. This is a great iteration of Strike Freedom, and they did well with the Metal Robot Spirits. But if you can go a little further, and this is for future release, guys, try and get a metal build. Strike Freedom right now is ridiculously hard. Or if you're willing to shell out more money, I think they're about 500 or so now. Very expensive. And yeah, it's just, unless they reissue it. But with that said, yeah, it really depends on what you want to go for. I mean, this is probably readily available now. So if you want a really nice Strike Freedom figure, there you go. Anyways, that's about it for this review. Hope you guys like it. And oh, I almost forgot. I got this Rutatsu Hobby. I have to check if they still have some in stock. But be sure to pre-order certain figures that are kind of high-end, or you think that might be sought after. There's a lot out there, especially with how Bandai is just chugging them out. And certain things, like recently the Black Goku, the SH figure arts, turns out that that's actually a hot item. I kind of wonder if it's just a hype. And 2 weeks later, you see everyone selling it. So, I don't know. That seems to be the trend with SH figure arts lately, or for the past couple of years. A lot of people jumping on the hype, especially with the recent installation of Dragon Ball Supers. Yeah. Anyways, that's about it for this review. Hope you guys like it. Apologize if it's a bit lengthy, but I got a lot of things to say. And I'm not sure when is the next review. Again, I got a crazy schedule on my work this week. Hopefully I get something out. We'll see. I'm gonna be very busy. But till next time. So till then, this is Means. Thanks for watching.